What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Vlad coming with a February. I ain't even say it right. February recap video. So, yeah, February was definitely a good month in the stock market. One of my best, yeah, my best month ever. So, grand total for this month $10,361.60. Crazy month, especially with a small account like mine's. To be able to make that a profit, I think, February had some very, very good opportunities. So I'm just going to hit and touch some of the highlights of. I'm not going to go over all my trades. I'm just going to go over the ones that I think a lot of people would, benefit from. So, yeah. The first one that I definitely think people, you know, could benefit from is SPCE. So I lost $919 on this trade, and this was on. Let's see what date it was. February 19th. So let me get that. I actually had to take this off of my watch list because of, and yeah, you're gonna see in a minute. This was a very predictable play, but I did not play it the best. So that's why I think me discussing this would be good. So the idea of it is whenever you see a parabolic action like this, the straight up action, the first red day typically is the sign of the end. So on this day, after it did this red day, I started shorting on this day. And the crazy thing about that was the stock, because normally after the first red day, it's supposed to have, like, you see how this is a red day? The next day is supposed to gap down or come down and continue this downward action. So on this red day, instead of it gapping down, it actually gapped up. And that should have been just an indicator for me, like, hey, you probably don't want to short this, um, because, it's gapping up. But no, I proceeded on to, let me find it on the chart. Yep, this right here. I proceeded on to start shorting, not even shorting while the market opened. I started shorting this sucker during pre market. So, shorted it somewhere around here. Let's see what my average was. 33.10. 200 shares. 33.10. It popped up as soon as the market came. Had this little fail. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm right on the move. But nope. It rebound. Then it proceeded to, do this little double bottom here. And right around here, I was like, Vlad, this is not working out. If it crossed this VWAMP line right here, get out. It crossed it. And of course, the first thing that I do is move up my risk level. Not recommended. Stick to your original plan. If you say, hey, if it passed this level, you're going to get out, then by all means, get out. So, nope, I didn't do that. I proceeded to move my risk level up. And when I did that, it came up. Then it had this grind action. I still held on. I was holding, and I was like, okay. Finally I see the snap. Then right around here, when it passed the VWAP again, I was like, Vlad, it is time for you to get out. As it was consolidating in this area, I'm like, okay, get out. Like in my head, that's what I was saying. Get out of this. I didn't. Then I had to get out towards the end of the day because it was, there was a lot of strong buying. So I got out for a $919 loss because I was stubborn. I really didn't have no strategy for this. I didn't cut losses. So for the month of March, that's definitely something that I need to work on is cutting the losers a little bit more sooner. As I'm approaching, to be over the PDT. I know sometimes the people who's under PDT, um, we have a problem as far as with cutting losses because it's like, oh man, it's a day trade that I wasted. But at the end of the day, if you don't cut the losses, it's gonna become, it's gonna be bigger losses. So yeah. All right. So SPCE, $919 loss. I think that yeah, that was my biggest loss in February. Actually, my account. So yeah, not only that, I try to reshort it again. And the crazy thing about it, I didn't learn my lesson. So I actually tried to short it again the very next day. You're gonna see why I really chose this one because I made a lot of mistakes on this. So I started shorting it pre market again. After the day before, I'm like, no, I'm not shorting this stock pre market. I'm gonna let this stock do what it do. Then once it does what it's supposed to do, then that's when I'm gonna short it. But nope, right out the gate, pre market. I see it's dipping. I'm like, haha. Now today's gonna be the day that's gonna have the red day. So I started shorting it in here when it was gapping below. Let's see where I shorted at. It was at 37.12. Yep, 37.12 because it was lower than the close. And this thing started gapping up. And when it got to like the 38s, I was like, yeah, let me just get out. So I got out. Luckily, this time around, I did do a small loss. But I definitely could have did better as far as like trading. Because normally my strategy is the only time to short pre-market is if it's coming near a major resistance. This was not it. So yeah, so I lost another $187 from this ticker. So now so far, my loss on this ticker is at 1,000, over 1,000. So look at it again. SPCE lost $318 on this ticker, and it was that same day. And the crazy thing about it, once I saw this move right here, this little big red snap, I knew that it was over for this ticker. As far as with the downtrend, this because I actually put in an order around like 30 39 something. It was about to get filled, and then when I saw it was about to get filled, I actually canceled it. The next thing you know, 5 minutes later, this thing just had this total collapse, and I was like, "Oh man!" I'm like, "Okay, you missed the drop. That's all right. It's all right that you missed the drop. Short it on the bounce." So it started going down. I'm like, "Short it. You're gonna wait to and short it on the bounce." It did this little bounce right here. I thought I was gonna get higher to close to the V want, but it didn't. Then it just kept going 35, 34, 33, 32. I'm like, yo, the bounce gotta come somewhere. 31, 30. I was like, forget it. Let me just jump in. I slammed in an order at 32, like near the bottom of the bounce. And yeah, look what happened. It bounced, went all the way up to the 37. So that was about $5. So I held on to this stock. I was like, oh my God, like this can't be happening. So I held on. A lot of missed opportunities on that day where I could actually got out, that I could have been trading. Yeah, eventually I got out. 33. Lost $318 on the short. And of course, the next day, guess what it did? Well, the day after that, it finally crashed, got down to 32. Then the next day, boom. So yeah, this stock right here, SPCE. Um, I did pretty much everything on it, like revenge trading. Oh yeah, there it is. You're gonna see just the dumb trade. This one I actually swung it a couple of days because I reshorted it towards. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this one. Yeah, it is right here. On All right, on this day, typically after the first green day, it tend to gap up and have another red day, like just to be the sign. Because I actually saw this, but executing it was very hard for me. So I actually shorted it, like right around here, and I had profits when it was closing. I think I was up like maybe $200. I didn't want to. The great thing about it, in my mind, I was like, I don't want to waste a day trade. I'm like, now just looking back at it, I'm like, dummy, you are up. Take the $200. Nope, I didn't take the $200. So I swung it overnight. So, I saw another play that was happening, and I was like, man, this thing is taking too long to dump. So I got out, lost some money, 227. So one thing about trading, emotions, revenge trading, those are all big no nos. In total, I probably lost maybe $1,500 on this ticker. Yeah, I made, $10,000, which is great, but the opportunity cost that it cost me, the time wasted on this ticker, I could have been actually trading some other ticker, making more money. Like truly in the month of December, I didn't do well as a trader. Right now, I'm currently in a loser that I'm swinging right now. So, yeah. So, I did not trade to the best of my abilities as a trader in the month of February. Well, I take that back. The first 2 weeks, I did a phenomenal job as far as trading. The third week, not so much. The fourth week, kind of until the end of today. But yeah, so definitely it's my goal to trade better, to really do trade better. So now that you've seen my worst trades, I'm gonna pick a couple of my good trades because I don't think my other trades. Let me just. I don't think my other trades that I lost on was that bad. $27. This one I can talk about. AIM. This one I actually went way too big on it, and this is what really pissed me off. I was right about the trade, but my timing was off. So this stock announced something about coronavirus. Half the time I don't know what the news is. I just get a part of the news. And one thing about it too is I need to stop buying whenever there's big volume next to big volume. I just need to take that out of my vocabulary, out of my repertoire. Anytime that a stock is gapping up and there's big volume next to it, I should not be buying at all. So that's something that I'm now implementing. Because I bought this, it had huge volume, it actually did nothing. So I bought this, and I wasn't even patient. That's the bad thing about it. My whole plan when I saw this, I actually traded this twice. I traded pre-market once I saw the thing, it gapped up. Traded at 190, it ripped to like 210. Then it started coming back down. Once I saw it got close to the VWAP, which was 190, I got out at 191. Made about $30 because I had like 3,000 shares. Then I was like, whew, dodged one. Then my whole plan for it was to, when the market opened, wait about 15 to 20 minutes to see what it do. See what it do first, and then jump in. So the starting market, it dipped, and it had this big spike. Then it had this come down right here. 9:36. So it's only 6 minutes into the market open. I did not wait the 15 to 20 minutes. Had I did, I wouldn't have been in this little big dip right here, and I went big. This is the biggest I think I went as far as on a higher price stock. I went 5,000 shares here, thinking that this is gonna rip up, which it didn't. Then you had this big sell off right here. Boom. I'm like, okay, the sell off, it cracked the V1. This might be a fader. But I knew that this stock was going to come back up and retest the V1. So I'm thinking it's going to retest the V1. It did all this. Because ideally, the best entry would have been like maybe right around here. 155, risking off of 150. That's a big risk. That's a really good risk reward. That's the ideal play. Buy it in right here, risk it off of here. 5, maybe 7 cents with slippage. Um, that had it cracked and not did what I thought it was gonna do. But no, instead I bought it right here, exposing myself to what 20 cents of downside with 5,000 shares. So I knew that it was gonna go test the VWAP, and my whole plan was to actually get out of it right around the VWAP. But once I saw that it was up a little bit and I was up like 4 cents a share, I was like, let me just let it happen and see the outcome. It dipped under VWAP. Then I was like, man, it dipped under V1. Let me just, continue to hold and just see what happened. It went back over it and dipped again. On this dip, I was so nervous because it went down and I held a loser. Wait, no, I actually got out of it. I'm sorry. Once it dipped down here, I got out like right around here. So yeah, so I did a fairly good job. I should have got out earlier, but I didn't stick to my game plan. So the reason why I lost on this, I didn't stick to my game plan. So I tell people this all the time. Yes, making money in the stock market, it is great, but it's even better when you have a game plan and you stick to it, win or lose. Like right now, I'm not sticking to my game plan. Didn't stick to it. End up losing what, $500. That could have been avoided. So what really just pissed me off is the next day, this thing rips all the way up to $3. So this, imagine with the same $5,000 shares, had it did that the day of the news, I would have been sitting pretty. But it didn't happen, so I got a loser instead. All right. Let's see. I want to say those are just like my only notable losses. Got that. Everything else was really controlled. 150, 146, 95, 225. I'll shorten this on the way up. I don't remember this trade. Oh, I do remember this trade now. CODX. This was actually on one of these days over here. 211. Okay, they announced. Yeah, this is definitely not my type of pattern. They announced that they did an offering, and immediately like the stock it tanked, and from the tank, like I chased that joint. I don't know why. I chased it, and I got filled. I didn't get filled at 332 because I actually every time it kept going, I kept adding, to eventually got close to where I was at to like break even, and I just got out. This was a very very bad trade, very bad trade. So yeah, that's not my pattern. They announce earnings. Do not chase. All right, so I think that was the last one of my notable losses. Um, yeah, everything else is really controlled. Like I said, the first 2 weeks of February, I did a very good job as far as trading, um, managing my risks and stuff like that. All right, so I think this is a pretty good, pretty good one. I am. This was on the 12th of February. It was on this day. So the idea behind this is that they announced news that their CEO was going to be on Fox, and he was going to talk about the coronavirus and what the company's plans on to do it. Coronavirus, that's a huge sector right now. So automatically during pre-market, once I saw it, I immediately started buying. So I bought 2,600 shares, and my whole plan was to just swing it because they was gonna do two press conference, one at 10, and the other one was at like 3. So I know immediately before 10 I needed to get out. So the reason why I bought it was because the hype. He's gonna be on national TV, so that means more buyers are gonna come in once they see him talk about it. Not only that was it's coronavirus. Coronavirus. That's the thing that's in play. So immediately got in, and this well not immediately, but probably like 5 minutes, 10 minutes after 7 a.m. I got in, bought 2,600 at $1.21, and I sold it right before 10. So yeah, so that was a really easy trade in terms I know exactly what's gonna happen. Because right around 10, I think it got as high as 160, but yeah, REXN. I don't really remember this one. Oh yes, I do. REXN. I thought this was a very good trade. Made $1,000 off of it. Went with 3,000. Actually, yeah, I went big on that one. Was it on this thing? I'm trying to find the date. Was it on the 11th? On this day. All right, so this stock ran up. And one thing about it too, no, that's not it. Or is it? Yeah, this is it. The stock went up. Then once I saw I had this like little big crap right here, and it did the little higher low. I actually started. I just got a starter in right around here. because this, let's say, yeah, I think it traded maybe at this point it was like 16 or 17 million, and the volume just started dying out like right around noonish. Then it cracked the VWAP. I was already in there, so I actually slammed on a lot right here during the crack. I thought this was the crack, didn't crack, so I added on a little bit more, and finally we got this pull, and I got out right here because it was like overextended, in my opinion. At that time, I got 3,025 shares, made about 10%. So yeah. And if you want to go back and just take a look at my trade, you're more than welcome to. The link is definitely in the bio, so you could certainly certainly trade it. So I'm gonna do two more trades, and yeah, I'm gonna be done. So this one, TNXP. Now this one was very predictable, very controlled. I knew exactly what this company needed to do. Um, so this company did a reverse split. So that's the first thing that's when I saw it, I got excited. I was like, yes, there's a reverse split. So once I saw it did the reverse split, I wanted to see how long has it been under $1. And looking at this, it was under $1, 13 days. It's been under $1 for 13 days. So people ask, well, why is that significant? Well, for one, it did a reverse split, and previously with this stock, it was already on my watch list. So I knew that this stock did a reverse split to be above $1 to meet the Nasdaq listing. So that was one of the reason. The second reason was the time, not the time, but the news that it announced. It announced something about the coronavirus. So once it announced something about the coronavirus, okay, that's definitely a buy. They have news. It's under $1. Did a reverse split. They have 30 days to get it above $1, or else they're gonna receive a letter of them being delisted. And and what else? Oh yeah, and the volume, pre-market volume at the time was already at like 20 million when I bought it. And as soon as I did like those little bit of research on this, nope, it was actually on this little when it was coming down right here. I bought, I went all in. Don't definitely recommend going all in, but I actually went all in. My whole goal was to actually sell at like $1.06, because I know it's gonna get above $1. But I got chicken out on that first red candle here. Once I saw I did the first red candle, I got out. But as you could see how this unfold, I left a lot of money on the table. I should have, and that's why I mean, like, even though I'm making money, if I just stick to my plan, or even I should just took a little piece out and just let it go because I know what it had to do. It had to get above $1, so that way the time could restart, which it did, and not to mention, you know, it went all the way up to $2. So with that one, like I went really big, 11,000 shares, made 44%, a good 2,900. In the last trade, this was also another coronavirus, IBIO. Definitely botched this one as well. Well, I wouldn't really say botched it because the reason why I got out this trade so early yesterday evening was because of CDOX. I actually shorted CDOX at the 16 here. Like, I mean, the timing was like perfect. Like, it did this little crack. I shorted it right around like 1650, and it went all the way down, and I was up like 1,200 bucks, and I wanted more. Initially, I had my order set, and again, that's why I keep saying stick to your plan. I had my order set to cover at 1250, and guess what I did? Dropped it down to 10 because I recalculated. I think 9 or something like that. I recalculated and I was like, well, I want to see $2,000. So of course it got to 11, then squeezed back up. Never seen 12 again till today. So once I saw the closing, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna hold this overnight and and get squeezed. So let me just get out. So I got out at $16. This was a very poor trade. So after hours, I was just looking to see, okay, what is something that I could swing overnight? And that was my whole intention for IBIO. But I put in an order, like after I bought it, it's to get me out if it reaches $1.13. And I actually was in front of the computer right before it happened, and I could actually cancel it, but I was like, nope, let me just take it. So within like 20 minutes, um, I made within 20 minutes I made 1,100. So I felt a little justified since I let the $1,200 go. But my initial plan on it was to swing it overnight, and had I did that, it would have been a very, very good trade. So another missed opportunity. All right, okay, and that's why I say like the last half of the month I did not trade well. Um, AIM, no, not AIM, APT, another missed opportunity right here. APT. So I called out the play. I knew it was a breakout. It was past. It was past like the sevens, and I bought at like 816. I was like, okay, I got this trade. It's a breakout. No, that's not it. And my whole plan, because I actually put my order in to be filled at $10, because I knew it was gonna reach $10, but I didn't stick to my plan again. So once it did this, it's in 5 minutes. I want to see the minute. $20, 1 minute. Okay, here we go. No, I said that was the last one, but this actually gonna be the last one that I'll end with. So it had a very good trend. I bought it on like I bought it like right around here, like 816. Then it had this big up. Then this down move right here really shook me because it got all the way back to $8. But the thing is, it still was intact because immediately after that, it rebound and got here. And once it did this little dip again, I was like, nope, I'm out. And of course, maybe what, 20 minutes later, we have this big push to the tens. And yeah, I'm already out. So instead of making what I think I would have made 1,000. I'm only made $120. So a lot of big missed opportunities on my end because I didn't trade well. Um, so yeah, so hopefully, I get all these in check for the month of March. The markets has been hot, so definitely, trying to see what it do. So this is Vlad signing off. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get March started. Peace.